Do you want coffee? Do you want it?
What? Oh, no. Fine.
Daddy, come on, let's go stream. Come on, Marty, let's go stream. Let's go stream, Marty.
Hi everybody, welcome to Taste Tiny World. I'm Taylor, and over here we have my lovely assistant, Brian. I'm kidding. No, Brian's going to be working on some Necromunda terrain tonight. I'm going to be working on some Blackstone Fortress miniatures tonight. Brian's also going to be working on some Warcry. Tell us more about these projects.
Warcry is pretty much everything GW makes in plastic for Warcry. Getting painted up. I'm trying to finish up the whole set. It's by the weekend. And Necromunda is the never-ending build, basically.
Never-ending story. But
Big
yes.
builds in miniature.
Yes, big builds indeed. Quite large. They take up a good deal of space in our house. So I'm going to go ahead. The first one of all together with my Blackstone Fortress minis, I'm going to be working on a Chaos Space Marine, a Rogue Psyker, a Arco-Flagellant. Is he a Flagellant or is he an Arco-Flagellant?
Arco-Flagellant's 40k. Flagellant's
Okay.
fantasy.
And lastly, an Urgle. Yay, good times. Urgle.
There's an H in there somewhere.
It's after the G. Would you like to cue up a song in the playlist?
Sure.
Go ahead and get the party started while I start making my Chaos Marine here as gross as possible.
What's the limit for
2? It's 2 with some pauses in between, so you can totally request more than 2, but you just gotta take breaks in between there. Indeed, they're limiting you. They're stifling your creativity.
Let's see here. And I'm also doing a little bit of work for the Patreon as well. I was researching a few last things before I put it in writing.
Ooh, we're gonna have a research stream, everybody.
Yeah, but I want to be available to anybody who wants to talk about it.
It'll be an opportunity to bust out that sweet screen share so everybody can see exactly what websites you're going to.
You talking about?
I'm kidding. You know how you can do the window share or whatever? So,
Oh, yeah.
So they can follow your Google browser history, see what other tabs you have open.
What else do you want to listen to?
I have no preferences.
What's everybody doing this evening?
Indeed. How is everyone doing this evening? Happy Monday Eve, folks. You know, I feel like I do need my other light in here. I'm not going to go
There's a light
get
behind you on the case that helps a lot.
I'm always like
You see behind the thing?
Yeah. I'm always cautious about backing up in this chair, knowing this is back here. Because all it takes is me going flying violently backwards, and I'm going to go directly into that case. And I don't know why you think me having these being on the side is the best idea, but okay. Following your lead. For those of you who are curious, I don't know if you can see here behind me. No, you can't actually see it. There's a display case, a glass display case set up full of miniatures. A glass display case from IKEA. He's got like a little like Necromunda diorama going in there of sorts. And I'm sitting directly in front of this display case.
It was actually very scary putting that together, especially for an IKEA thing.
I know, and it's
usually like that amount of damage can't come from an IKEA piece of furniture, but yeah.
Yeah, it's totally.
Apparently they break all the time in shipping.
It's like less than 2 feet behind me. And I'm kind of klutzy. This is very, interesting. Don't let me forget that's back there, Brian. I will go
I'm gonna put one back here too, so.
That's gonna end badly one day.
Could just put it flat against the wall, probably better.
Probably. I know it looks more dynamic sitting at an angle like that, but I feel like that's kind of unsafe. When you get decapitated, like in a freaking Final Destination or something.
scratching the brush.
I don't think it's upstairs. Oh, here it is. I found it. Lanky indeed. So I'm going to be busting out some technical paint on him. Maybe some RZA rust. Definitely some typhus corrosion. Or as I want to call it, typhoid corrosion. It's the same thing, right? Hey, XL809. You don't need to share your browsing history of what you do to spark the bedroom fires. For all we know, it's 40k or Kingdom Death cosplay. Oh, God. Not Kingdom Death 40k. Oh, God. Brian. It's XL809 says we probably do Kingdom Death or 40k cosplay in the bedroom.
Oh my god.
He says, oh my god.
How does that work?
He said he came so late to the stream he had to rewatch the video for a few minutes before he got here. I'm sorry. Can you imagine Kingdom Death cosplay? Like everything just has faces on it for no reason. Do cosplay as a space marine for me.
Oh my god. Don't they have like 3 balls or something?
Do they? Apparently, I mean, they don't poop, so presumably they don't have
They don't
balls.
poop?
No, all their waste is like
I can see
recycled back into the. I looked it up one day because I was wondering how do they go to the bathroom in those suits? Like, you can't take them all the way off. No, apparently they don't like expel waste, so they don't have buttholes. Presumably, they don't have penises.
They don't have buttholes.
Why would you need one if you don't expel any waste from your body?
Yeah, so there's like a rule in most editions, like, and it's called "And They Shall Show No Fear," and it's how Space Marines never really retreat. They might like regroup, but they don't retreat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if they have one? And I heard they don't have buttholes.
Wait, what?
Just make up a rule for it.
Oh.
So like they like never have to, I don't know, like campaign setting, they never have to stop and poop or something.
I mean, I think that's already a thing, though. I think that's what it is. Like, somebody thought about it, and they're like, wait, how do they shit in these giant suits? They have to take them all the way off? Like, no. They have, like, 3 hearts and 4 lungs. They don't need to shit.
Have you ever seen arguments erupt? Like in that sort of thing in the Facebook groups?
No. I do want to
You
know...
take that shit seriously? Like,
I do want to know why there's not fat demonettes. Like 800-pound demonettes.
there should be pregnant ones, because that would like...
When I got here as the tail end of the Windows capture, whatever, so you didn't... Oh, I gotcha. But technically, Brian, gluttony is one of the, like, 7 deadly sins. And they're all about, basically the 7 deadly sins, right?
For whatever reason, gluttony seems to fall more like Nurgle territory, I guess.
No, if anything, Nurgle should be, like, deathly, like, thin and sickly. Like, Slanesh should be, like, 600 pounds. Like, one of those, like, he lays in a bed and, like, has a sheet. Well, he wouldn't have a sheet draped over him at Slanesh. He would just be out.
Nurgle would.
Nurgle
He'll
needs...
be on my 600-pound life or something.
Nurgle needs to stay in his own lane. I'm going to rewrite all
I'm
of
surprised
them.
you don't like Nurgle. Like, once you get past the grossness, it's kind of charming. He has the little nerdlings and everything.
Meh. It's like if they made John Goodman a freaking, like, nasty, like, meh. And like, don't you like John Goodman? You're like, no, not really. It's kind of...
How do you get John Goodman from Nurgle?
So, who would you cast as Nurgle?
Why are we casting people as the Chaos Gods?
Because, like, he's supposed to be all charming and everything. Like, who's a nice, good, disgustingly fat actor who would play Nurgle?
I don't know, this is terrible.
No, it's not. Imagine in an Ultimate Universe you get a 40k movie, right?
Excel, you gonna chime in on this one?
So you get a 40K movie.
She's
right?
casting chaos gods, basically.
So who would play?
Who plays Slanish? Who played Nervo? Who plays Zinj? And who played Korn?
I don't know that much about Zinj. Tell me about Zinj.
Zinj is like really avian, kind of like it's the bird god, the Lord of Change, the basically.
What does he look like?
Like
Hang on, I'm gonna Google Zinj real fast.
Seriously,
Everybody.
like the Lord of Change model, right? It's the big bird one. Looks kind of like a creepy bird with all these colors on it. Oh shit!
I'm sitting here trying to remember how the hell you spell Zinj. I figured it out. Like.
Yeah, it took me a long time when I first got into Warhammer.
Zinj. Okay,
You can master how to spell it, but nobody truly masters how to say it. You'll see arguments everywhere.
Oh wait, alright, hang on. Supposedly they've either been brainwashed away from sexual thoughts, physiologically underdeveloped or castrated, and they may have assholes or a plug for waste.
You just Googled about Space Marine assholes?
Apparently they have a plug, maybe.
Somebody's out there
A
asking
stopper.
questions.
They have a wine cork.
The suits stores waste away, yeah.
Yeah, so like when they sweat and shit, it like repurposes it. I like the idea of a plug, though.
Wait, so their sweat as the stank is what you're saying?
They don't sweat. It never actually comes out of their bodies. What if they don't actually have bodies? What if the whole thing is a lie?
What if it's all like Vanilla Sky or something?
What if they're just suits?
Like Vanilla Sky 40K.
I never actually saw Vanilla Sky. I heard it was terrible.
No, it was just that sort of thing, though.
What, were they actually... So, like...
everything you've seen this whole movie's been in your head.
Do you ever get, like, a tag, a flash, like, on the base? Like, you know how the base has a butthole to it?
On what?
Bases, in general. They have this little, like, butt in the middle.
Oh, yeah, the little
It'll have a little flash coming out of it.
I think it's from the injection molding or something. I'm not sure how it works.
Like how we're talking about like nipples and like injections.
I know. I swear we're talking about miniatures. We are actually talking about miniatures.
I'm talking about
buttholes. Here, like, show the camera the base nipple.
The base butthole. Can you see it? Yeah, you can see it.
It's on every on every GW base. It's the little notch in the middle.
It's a butthole.
You don't know what it's for.
It's a butthole.
I think it has something to do with the injection.
It's to test you and make sure your thoughts are not impure. They're testing you for heresy. Like does this butthole confuse and excite you at the same time? Does it titillate you?
Confused and excited.
It's fair.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Anyway, non-butthole related news. But no, okay. So, if not John Goodman, who are you casting as Papa Nurgle?
Why John Goodman? Well, I don't know.
Pick a fat guy. There's not
what era John Goodman are you talking from?
I would say Chris Farley, but they could get his corpse, right? You get Chris Farley's corpse.
Oh, jeez, you can't cast dead people.
Why? It's Nurgle. It's super appropriate. I feel like Hugo Weaving should be somebody in the 40K universe. Who would Hugo Weaving be? He would be an Inquisitor.
He's kind of got an Eisenhorn thing going for him, right?
No.
Older Eisenhorn. Like, you've only read the first Eisenhorn book. Well, I know Eisenhorn is an old man. With the game.
So here's the thing with Eisenhorn, and I know this is not accurate. You know what vibe I kind of picked up off of him?
What?
Like, James Bond meets Brock Sampson.
Okay.
So, I'm not getting Hugo Weaving anywhere in that.
Oh,
Hugo... Lucius. Who is Lucius in 40K? Who is that?
Lucius?
Yes.
I know Vulcan. I'm not a Marine player.
Is he a Vulcan? Or is he a
No.
Space Marine, I mean?
Vulcan's salamanders.
Oh. This is going to be so stereotypical.
And I've never played Chaos.
Alright, one rule though, you can't cast Higo Weaving as any Eldar. It's too easy. It's cheating. Oh, Emperor's Children. Ooh, I can see that. I can see him. Okay. I don't know who Lucius the Eternal is. Hang on a second. Let me clean my brush off. Then
Wait, so who's Fulgrim Lucius?
I don't know, but let's see who Lucius is. Lucius.
I don't mean to exactly tune out when it comes to Horus Heresy, but like, it's a lot of stuff, and I
see.
haven't had it in me.
I see. So Lucius.
I'm not a book person.
Oh, okay. According to 1D4chan, Lucius the Eternal is the sickest fuck in the Emperor's Children.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like
That sounds like 1D4chan, does it not? He's the sickest fuck in the Emperor's Children. Hey, brah, got a nice spirit stone there. Can I put it in my mouth and cover it in saliva? Quote, Lucius being a creepy deviant as always. Lucius the Eternal is the sickest fuck in the Emperor's Children, an entire legion of sick fucks who worship the very god of sick fuckery. That's really saying something. He's also one of the biggest pieces of shit in the whole damn galaxy, up there with Erebus in terms of self-centered, ruining everything bullcrap. I see. Okay.
They cut right to the BS, don't they?
Don't they? They're like, this guy's the sickest fuck, and also he's a motherfucking asshole. Fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, chest bump. But yes, the guy who is reborn when you kill them if you feel the slightest bit of pleasure in killing him. Oh, I see. That's perverse. He's like, oh yeah, get on when you're killing me. Oh yeah.
That's like some BTN shit.
Was it good for you? Because it was good for me. I'm back, motherfucker.
Because it meets you this whole thing with pain and...
That's why you, like...
with it.
You have, like, a child assassin? Or no, because then they would get pleasure from... So you give a kid a sharp stick. What? You get... No, hear me out. Here's how you kill him. 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 You have a kid shoot him in the back of the head with a las pistol, and the kid's going to be traumatized and have PTSD and nightmares his whole life because of it, and he won't get any pleasure, and that's how you take care of him once and for all. Oh! It's very hard to kill him, but if you do, if you feel the slightest amount of pleasure in winning, you turn into him. Okay, so what if the kid in question has really bad PTSD and is traumatized and he doesn't enjoy it, but there's adults who enjoy it? Do they turn into Lucius, or...
Asking the tough questions.
What if you program a machine that thinks it's human, like it's an android and doesn't know it's an android, and you program it to fall in love with them, and then you set a switch on it to kill him, and then it wakes up after it kills him and it's devastated, it's really traumatized.
Your phone.
Oh. And your personality face joins the others on his body armor. The slightest amount of pleasure, including pain relief.
I think I know what he's talking about now.
What if you guys are on top of a really tall structure and you jump off and you both die at the same time?
And those Lucius and the person falling would have to just turn to the Chaos Gods and shrug. I don't know, actually.
Really, though, what would happen?
Sit down, People's Court! The man that won't die.
And the man who killed himself to kill him. Did this actually work? I can see him going to the Emperor, those two chicks. Okay, there's a part in the Bible, if you're not familiar with Bible stuff, about how is King Solomon, he's supposed to be super wise, and these two women are arguing
The
over a
baby.
yeah. And they're like, their plan is to cut the baby in half if he won't let them like determine who.
No, that was his plan.
Oh yeah, he offered to cut the baby in half, and the one lady's like, no, and that's how they determined who like the real mother was. But so in the case of Lucius versus this let's say Eisenhorn does it, right? That's Eisenhorn's last stand. It's kind of like Wolverine in a way, right? So Eisenhorn grabs Lucius, and they jump off a building.
Why Eisenhorn?
Because he's just the first like character whose name came to mind.
Oh my god.
So they both plummet at equal speeds, assuming they're both of equal rates. Do they both just die?
That's like a high school like math question.
I feel like it's like a college philosophy question. Because the vessel he was going to transport himself into, or wait, would his spirit like enter the void basically and hang out and wait for somebody to be like happy for him to be dead? Like word reaches like the Inquisitorium or whatever that like, yay, Lucius is dead, and suddenly like whoever said that like their face starts changing like and they pop up like I'm Lucius.
Surprise, bitches.
I'm back. Peace out. He like jumps out a window.
I could see him being played by Bill Murray. Just keeps popping back up.
Like Groundhog Day. Like a really shitty version of Groundhog Day. Yeah.
Oh, so much ink, man. So much ink.
Very.
So much ink.
Very.
We're still to count from it.
Okay. Plot armor. There you go. Well, it's like how in like Star Trek now, after they got the Khan's blood, how like nobody can really die.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like everybody should be able to die all the time.
You know what happened in the new Star Wars? Nothing really means anything.
Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. No thing. But we did not see the new Star Wars. Probably won't see it. We're just like not into Star Wars like that. But yeah.
I used to be. There was a time when I was a child.
Long ago in a galaxy far, far away. 30 years ago.
One day Star Wars hurt me.
It'll be fine.
Sure will. If I have terrain now. I have you. I have Marty. I don't need Star Wars.
So sad. A 28mm violin. Play it just for you. There's rumors of gossip leak. Wait. Knowing Games Workshop and Black Library, there's rumors of gossip leaking Disney associated people that the next movies will be Old Republic era. I bet that won't happen for several years since the market is a bit fatigued. Now, Old Republic, I assume, is that's Star Wars.
Yeah, like
okay. What is the Old Republic? I never was really.
Old Republic was like the prequels, like before the Empire. That was the Old Republic.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Those movies.
Fatigued is a good way to put it, I think.
Those movies.
That's how I feel.
The Han Solo movie did really terribly, though, from what I understand. Like, real terrible.
Somebody at work was talking well about it. I think it was Edward.
Oh, yeah? I don't know. I did not watch. I try to avoid talking bad about things like that I didn't like read or see, which is how I wound up reading the first 3 books of Twilight, because my college roommate kept swearing they would get better. They did not. You ever watch something and somebody keeps telling you it's gonna get better, and then
Wait,
you're
so
like,
is this like prequels then? This is like Knights of the Old Republic, Old Republic.
is that what Tarsus is?
It was something like that was like 10,000 years or 15,000 years before the Star Wars movies or something. It was a video game. Is that what I'm thinking of? 5,000 years, okay. Yeah, so they can pretty much rewrite Star Wars doing that.
What do you mean?
There's not a whole lot of it's like wide open.
I thought they have all those books.
Sort of. I mean, like it's like the Wild West as far as IP is concerned. They just need to call it Star Wars. Just keep calling it Star Wars. It could look and feel like anything as long as it has a name on it. It'll be alright.
Here's the thing: it was kind of always destined for those. The whole
25,000 years is Ancient Republic.
The whole long ago in a galaxy far, far away thing kind of implies that it was always just open IP fodder, though, you know?
No, I don't think he was thinking that far ahead with it.
He wasn't, but like if he set something up like that, like he never establishes when this takes place. You know what I mean?
The fact that he didn't actually have the story worked out for the prequels when he wrote episode 4, 5, and 6. That makes a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away thing look like he was setting up the bullshit. You know what I mean? He was setting it up for later.
Brian clearly has strong feelings with regard to Star Wars.
I'm just calling it like it is. I don't. Yeah, I hate it.
Wait, hang on. So you're talking hyperspace war, apparently. You're talking hyperspace war. Dark Jedi Wars occurred before the hyperspace wars, 25,000 years before
Republic,
prequels, when the dark side and light side were unknown.
I played first one.
I was always kind of disappointed I couldn't get into Star Wars. Like something about it just never did it for me. I wanted to be into it
when I was a kid.
I wanted to be into it, and then those god awful prequels. Those were some of the worst. Those are some of the worst movies I think I've ever seen. They're supposed to be part of a franchise anyway. Eating Anakin. And then the non-event that is Jai Quan Den. Look, he had no personality in that movie.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
See? See? No, the outcome was the Dark Jedi.
I actually really liked his character in that. I have to disagree. I don't even like Star Wars anymore. I'm going to disagree with you.
The outcome was the Dark Jedi left Ancient Republic territory. The light side formalized the Jedi Order. The Dark Jedi settled in the Sith Kingdom planet and merged into it beyond the scope of the Republic. I see. So basically, the dark side's peace out, we're gonna go set this up over here, and meanwhile the light side's look at the 10 little camera dots.
What was the big, there was just some big Star Wars Legion release. Wasn't there? I keep hearing people talk about Star Wars Legion the past 3 days.
Is that the miniatures one?
Yeah, it's a skirmish game. Warcry or Necromunda. Star Wars.
That might actually be fun to play. I'm not gonna say that I want to play, people are gonna call it Battlestar Galactica.
Star Wars?
No. The hell, what am I thinking of here?
I don't know, what are you
Battlefleet Gothic. I'm not gonna say I want to play Battlefleet Gothic. I don't really, but I think the ships look fun to paint.
They're quick to paint. I had 3,000 points fleet when I was a kid.
They're not fun to paint then?
It's dry brushing. In order to get that kind of detail, it's just all implied detail. It's a lot of dry brushing.
Well, never mind. Then I completely take that back.
They're fun. I mean,
No,
it's more fun than like World War II ships.
that's not saying much.
We made a big project that at work once. It was like 4 or 5 months of nothing but just painting World War II ships.
I don't really assembling the World War II ships.
Oh yeah, we had to assemble them too. That was crazy.
So Battlefield Gothic, like the one part about it that I thought sounded fun was not fun.
So what painting sounds fun to you? What you're saying?
Well, anyway, where I was going with that is the Star Wars ships maybe like are easier to get a hold of than the.
Yeah, there's like Star Wars X-Wing and Armada, and yeah, there's plenty of Star Wars games. They're pretty popular. They sell them at every game store.
I don't actually wish to play it though.
You just want to paint them?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: that all that stuff comes pre-painted, which is kind of like.
Oh, that's bullshit.
In my opinion, it's like kind of anti-hobby. Like this, like to me, this is the part I like. Gaming is secondary. I like this part. You know what I mean? Just
that is much
things
bullshit.
together.
That is super bullshit. Eventually, the Sith Kingdom would become an interstellar darksider state, and an encounter war called the Hyperspace War would happen between the Sith Kingdom and the Ancient Republic. The Republic would win, Kingdom would fall, but prior to that, a splinter force of Sith would leave Kingdom space, and the second group would flee the peace of the war. Both groups would go on to spawn Sith empires, one on Korriban, which would fall first in a later war, and the second one based on the Outer Rim, which would be ruled by the Malak and Revan.
Yeah, he was the bad guy in Knights of the Republic, I think, right?
Is that a game?
Yeah, it was like first Xbox, I think. It was a long time ago.
Which would also fall, but not before winning one war with the Republic and dividing the galaxy in half for a Cold War. I see. I feel like you have one of those. No, you have the one that came out like a couple years ago. The one.
Which one was that?
You've...
Oh, Battlefront.
That was not a particularly interesting watch.
It wasn't a finished game. That's EA. That's like it was a beautiful game. It looked amazing, but it was like three maps.
Oh, shit. Not before winning one war with the Republic and dividing the galaxy in half for a Cold War, and the Mandalorian Crusaders would show up just before the first Sith Empire went to war with the Old Republic as migratory creed following warriors. Okay, so this is all basically, is it analogous? Analogies to the, Analogies to the,
oh, that sounds terrible.
Ew. To the knights then. So this is all like knights of the Old Republic, like King Arthur. Yes? Am I following that correctly?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, you have the Crusade. There's some. Anyway.
Once you start adding that like old Republic stuff, it starts getting crazy. Which is what I meant, like. That if they're basing any movies on that, they can really do whatever they want, and it'll still be Star Wars. So,
is that because it's like well written, or is it because it's like very loosely written?
That's like if you took Warhammer 40,000 and said we're going to do a spin-off now, and it's going to be Warhammer 2,000.
Well, they already have that. They have Warhammer 30,000 or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, but what if we also did Warhammer like 25,000?
Well, what the hell do you think Age of Sigmar is?
It's a different thing, sort of.
Is it though?
Yeah.
And then you have Warhammer Fantasy, which the same tropes all still exist, except it's different because it's in a fantasy setting, even though it's totally the same damn thing. I like how with like 40k, the whole thing is like, these are still totally elves, but now they're space elves because we put an A in front of it. They're elves.
No, Eldar.
Isles. Dark Isles and Dark Eldar. Also, the librarians. Why the hell are they called librarians?
You this librarian.
They're not librarians. They're not librarians.
They're called librarians.
They're not librarians. Those are not what librarians are.
I'm so upset by this.
I am. It's not a freaking librarian. My elementary school librarian, Miss Myra Capellis, would be terribly upset. Terribly upset.
Finish up this piece and then.
Are you playing your video game tonight?
No, I think I'm done with it. I think I've officially rage quit.
But baby.
I was playing Days Gone, and I'm at this part where like you can't save, and there's like 30 minutes of prep work.
That's 25k years to 5k years before the Clone Wars, 25k being the Dark Jedi Wars to the Hyperspace War, well 5k years being the Sith Wars, and 30k years and 80k years for the Clone Wars. You had the Infinite Empire ruled by the Rakatans. Isn't that what? Anyway, Force users who get to set up a dictatorship all over species of the galaxy, and that's where we have the Empire. I think I followed that. I think I followed that correctly. But what happened with your video game?
There's this part where you can't save it or anything. There's like 30 minutes of prep work. There's a stupid perimeter where you can go outside the mission area, and it'll like cancel the whole mission. You have to start back from the beginning. So I'm like super frustrated. And I've been playing this one part for a week. I don't play games or like one parts of games that long.
I'm sorry. But would be destroyed from within by the gathering darkness and the Force. So the Force is the Force like basically like the Star Wars equivalent of chaos, like warp.
Yeah. I don't know. The Force is kind of hard to.
Well, I understand about the Force. I'm just inquiring if it's kind of like. I mean, chaos is like so in Warhammer. They seem to like both kind of love and hate chaos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they need it. You know what I mean? But like they're also terrified of it.
I get some of this game tomorrow. Closer.
A little bit closer now.
There's that. I can see.
It's very blurry.
Worse.
Yes. Just leave it there.
Better.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. Over. It's water.
I tried.
Dude.
Yeah, this water's nasty. I'm gonna change the water real quick.
Thank you, baby.
You have like this little tiny like pool of water. It looks like fucking Nile River.
While I wait for the new water to come back.
What?
While I wait for the new water to come back.
There you go, babe.
Thank you. Oh, there's it over there across the table.
Oh, it's a lot of ink. It's a lot of ink. I'm about to run out. I still have the sepia tone. By the time I'm done. hop on some Necromunda stuff after it's the last thing on news.
I'm already snoring down there.
Yeah.
He's got a giant bald spot in the back of his head.
Isn't he like bald anyway?
I mean, in paint.
Marty, who's my little peanut?
Oh no. Now, is that the only terrain they make for Warcraft?
All the stuff you saw is all of the Warcraft terrain. Like if you bought one box of it,
Okay.
it's a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I really like the terrain. I don't like how it's used in the game.
How is it used in the game?
Like you have to look for a game. You draw cards, and it tells you how you have to set the terrain up. So you have to use like the terrain like a certain way. You can't do things to it.
This is all legends and only bits are canon, but if the gossip is right, some may soon be canon in a few years. And that's the thing, like, they have all those books. Like, do the books just, like, not matter anymore?
Yeah, they've said that before. I mean, they've just steamrolled over stuff that was clearly set up in books before.
Like, poof, this doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, like, I really liked the whole, like, Grand Admiral Thrawn trilogy. I thought they could have done something with that. Like, even in the 90s, they had an opportunity. Like, Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, they were like 15, like 16 years older. Like, they could have done it. It wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Is that why Harrison Ford only did, like, one of the movies? He's like, I'm tired.
Oh, yeah, he was done. Thanks, Kazor. What's up?
Hello, Kazora, and thank you for the follow.
Is it Kazora?
Yeah, it's Kazora.
Kazora.
Or maybe it's Kazura. I like how he just has, like, a tentacle, this, rogue psyker. He just have a tentacle hanging off my arm.
Kazor. Okay.
Kazor, that's an E, not an A. Sorry, Kazor. We can't read.
It could have been like the Italian pronunciation or something. You kind of like bounce up with the E at the end.
Kazore.
Kazor.
Speaking of Italian, are we going to go back to learning Italian?
We're gonna have to, aren't we?
Well, that's if we're still going to Italy. How goes your drawing over there?
I have one more piece. I'm gonna take the dog out, and jump back.
Right now, I'm trying to just do the detail work here on his chains. He's got, like, bolted to his waist. He's got, like, a little, like, harness thing, like a little crotch harness going on. I never usually do my detail work first, but this is just, like, so much metal, I'm like, screw it, why not? So, Kazura, what are you... oh my god, so Kazor, what are you doing again? Or what are you doing tonight? Sorry, I can't talk. The fleet of Imperial-class Star Destroyers is a clear connection to the Kitana fleet from the Thrawn books. I see. I've got a cord here hanging in my face. There we go. Perfect. Playing EVE Online. I've I've looked at that before. I've never actually played it myself. How was it? Our friend Keith used to play that, apparently. Is that the one with all the ships flying around? Like you're like bat. Oh. Oh. So is it like Sims? It's enjoyable for you, mining and PvP Eve stuff. Gotcha. I'm sitting here asking Brian if it's like Sims. I'm like, ooh, I like Sims. I'll play Sims. He was saying that you can like scam people and stuff. Like, ooh, that sounds like super good times. And see, I've never read any of the Star Wars books. Excel 809. So I do not know. I got one of the, it was a Princess Leia book actually, it came out a couple years ago. But I never actually got around to reading it. It's on my ever expanding TBR list. Yeah, I see it's not quite like Sims, sadly. Maybe you can't run around and sadistically abuse your characters like I do. See, do I want that cape to be oak brown? Yeah, I want it to be kind of leathery. Well, not the cape, the jacket. I'm gonna give him a leather trench. Make him super stylish. Alright. He said that the fleet of Imperial-class Star Destroyers is a clear connection to the Katana fleet from the Thrawn books. Brian! Oh, I'll ask him when he comes out. Alright, doing this side of the retrench over here. Anybody have any fun plans coming up this week? We'll be working this week and then going to a baby shower this weekend. Let's see. I'm gonna go and do that in that oak brown there, then do the highlight in a leather brown. Right. Oops, gotta go up skirt. Up skirt. Up skirt. Oh lord, I can't even talk. But yeah, I'm trying to get the underside in there. This jacket. What a wonky camera angle. I am so sorry, everybody. So what happens when you're trying to paint things that have insides and bottoms to them? There, that's slightly better. Like bending my hand around here backwards like a claw and have arthritis by the time I'm like 40. Does anybody else have like painter's hands where like, or not even painter's hands necessarily, but like your body responds to the fact that you're like hunched over painting so much, you start getting stiff and creaky before your time? I swear, since I started miniature painting, my back has gotten so shitty. Alright. Believe it or not, I think I actually got most of the interior of that jacket. Well, that's part of the fur there. Clean up a little bit in there, just a smidge. Alright. Okay. While that's drying, go ahead here. Oh, he's got a little cape here on the top. Not a cape, but a little just hood there. Not even hood, the entire jacket continues up the top. Oh my god, I'm crazy. Losing my mind. It's alright. Now he was snap fit, and I actually opted not to glue him at all, because I like to test things. So there are some definite gaps there that I think glue may have helped clean up a little bit. I understand that with SnapFit, I talked to some people online about it. A lot of people prefer to actually trim off the pegs there and just push it together the normal way, I suppose. I mean, which is cool, whatever floats your boat. I, for one, hate using glue, mostly because I'm terribly messy with it and I get it all over my fingers and hands, like, all the time. But, yeah, apparently people like to snip theirs off. Now, you do, if you are using these for, say, kit bashing, I do recommend gluing them, just because, the parts that you need might be the parts that are holding it together. Or the parts that you want to snip off, I should say, might be the parts that are holding it together. So, like, it's best if you're doing that to go ahead and glue and just kind of trim off what you need from there. I don't really have any big complaints with push fit models. I do find that on more detailed models, they can kind of be a pain in the ass a little bit. Just because, when you are working with detailed models or more busy models, you kind of get, where you're trying to push the thing together, and the pegs sometimes don't always slide smoothly in place, and you're pushing on the model in ways that can often cause the little, like this stuff on there to snap. So it kind of takes away from the structural integrity just a little bit, and if you do get it on there, it'll be structurally weakened because you've been pushing on it so much. There was one I remember, the Cultist Firebrand was an incredible pain because it's like such a busy miniature, and like the way you had to like sandwich his head in between his front half and back half and like push them together. I like knowing that I know now that people do in fact just trim those off and like just kind of stick it together. I would totally do that if I could go back in time there. Excel809 was saying that the fleet of Imperial class Star Destroyers is a clear connection to the Katana fleet from the Thrawn books.
So you're saying, look, how old was Thrawn in those books? Did he age like people did, or? So like Thrawn was a big deal at the time because he was like, at the time there were no aliens in the Empire. They were like xenophobic, and Thrawn was a big deal because he was this alien that was known for his genius intellect, and they didn't care that he was an alien because he could outwit any of the rebel commanders.
I see.
And then they like did away with that in the new stuff.
So are they just like updating the lore, or are they like
I don't know, like
everything?
the symbolism's almost gone now. Like everything that used to make that they said made Star Wars great.
Fair.
I'm an ass. I'm sorry.
Fair. Everything that fits Star Wars. They take your job.
They took your job.
Did they hurt you? Or did Star Wars hurt you?
They touched me here.
No, no. Baby. The first fleet of Star Destroyers in the Rise of Skywalker trailer is a clear nod to the Star Wars Legends Thrawn series concerning the Katana fleet, while the First Order is a nod to the Empire of the Hand and the Imperial Remnants.
So do you think they're gonna do something with that? Like, I mean, hell, like do something like Star Wars Rebels or Clone Wars, even Mandalorian style or something.
Infinite spin-offs. What if there's an alternate universe where Luke and Leia like pulled a like Game of Thrones?
I think in episode 4 was the intention.
That we're gonna pull a Game of Thrones?
Well, no, I don't think they were ever brother and sister.
Well, I know they weren't supposed to be,
You know what I mean?
but everybody. What had happened was apparently everybody liked Han Solo way better than Luke. So like George Lucas is like, surprise, your siblings. Sorry, Mark, you're not the love interest anymore. You're just not that interesting.
Tell you what, you're a battle monk now, space battle monk. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cool, though. I do think it is interesting now how he's like an old guy monk, like wandering around or whatever the hell he's doing. But Space Monk is cool.
What is
Space Monk? I can see how that would be interesting. You know what I mean?
Lightsabers are still like infinitely cool. Like you don't have to improve upon it or anything.
Why can't you have like the adventures of like this nomadic space monk? Oh my god, what if it's like John the Baptist, only it's like Mark Hamill as like Luke Skywalker, like roaming the galaxy, like going around like in his like bristly ass robes, all like living in poverty or whatever.
Because he would get sued.
He's already like a Jesus character.
Who is?
No, Luke's not a Jesus. Harry Potter is a Jesus character.
Is he?
Yeah, Harry Potter.
What?
Harry Potter dies.
No.
He dies so he can defeat Voldemort, and then he comes
No.
back from the dead. Yes, he does. Sorry, everybody, for the giant spoilers.
I didn't know that.
That's what happens in the 7th book. He dies. He and Voldemort
I was
both
never
die.
going to read any of the books, but I didn't know that.
Hang on. They haven't closed the Star Wars Rebel storyline for Urza Bridger, Sabine Wren, and Ashaka Tano. And Thrawn could still be alive, just marooned wherever Urza Bridger took him. With those hyperspace space creatures. I want a Star Wars Rogue 2 movie. Basically a trilogy of movies that follows the Rebellion character, Rogue One before New Hope. I put on Rogue One
I heard
once.
it was pretty good.
I've heard it was good. It's something about the aesthetic of Star Wars is like almost too sterile looking, and I know that, you have the cantina and the blah blah blah, and you got your different places. I feel like every time, I think I'm just thinking of the Empire scenes where it's just them in a ship.
Yeah, you're thinking
and
of
just
like
everything is white. Yeah, and it's just like, it seems like there's so much of that. Then it'll cut to some like windy landscape, and there'll be like 2 characters wandering along talking or like training or something. Rogue One before A New Hope, Rogue 2 after New Hope or during Empire Strikes Back, and Rogue 3 before Return of the Jedi or after Return of the Jedi. I don't know the plot of Rogue One, but like
it's so like in episode 4, they're like, a lot of Bothans died to get us these plans, the Death Star, or whatever. It's supposed to be like that story, like the espionage that happened to get the plans to the Death Star so that the rebels could destroy it. It was a cool setup, and everyone I know that's seen it, like people that don't like Star Wars anymore, love that. So I'm gonna bite my tongue.
I
like
see.
close to Rogue One.
I see. The Bothans died before Return of the Jedi to get the intel on the second Death Star, Rogue One. It's not that I'm entirely closed off to watching Star Wars. I would need to be in the right mood. You know what I mean?
You've seen them all, right?
I've seen the first 6.
Oh, so yeah. So you're caught up.
No, there's like 5 more now I haven't seen. And see, that's the thing, like, I can't really get that bent out of shape with them messing with their own timeline, because it takes place in a galaxy long, long ago and far, far away. Like, what the hell is that, you know? It ends up in Leia's possession on its Tantive 4 at
That
the
was like the Corellian Corvette that they're chasing at the beginning.
The what? I haven't seen these movies since 2000. When did the
I know my
last
shit
one
though.
come
Like
out?
I might be a hater, but I know my
I
shit.
don't know anything at all about these. I haven't seen these movies. Like, when was the last one? When did Well, I told you guys about my theory that this is all Obi-Wan's fault for leaving freaking Anakin to burn to death. But anyway, whenever that movie came out, that's the last time I watched a Star Wars movie.
That was the third in the timeline.
Yeah. So that was like what? I was in high school. That would have been 2004.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so the last time I saw a Star Wars movie was 2004. I went back and tried to watch one of the first ones, and it was just so like.
I think that's the last time I saw one too.
I saw it in theaters and everything, and I detested Anakin. I really don't like that kid. I don't like the kid. I don't like the adult.
The actor, you mean?
No, I don't. Hayden Christensen is, I imagine, a very nice person. His Anakin was so goddamn whiny. Like, angsty. And as we discussed last night, I know we talked about this last night, how weird it is with Leia, with their, like, not Leia, with, Padme, Amidala. Padme is an Indian name. Is it Padme or is it Padma? Is it Padme?
Padme Amidala.
Padme Amidala. Amidala.
And isn't Padme like a title or something?
No, it's a name. With the death of the Jedi, the whole purpose of the Clone Wars wasn't the war, but the death of the Jedi. It was all planned by the Sith to fait accompli the Jedi Order. If the Republic wins, you get Order 66. If the Separatists win, the Jedi are executed as enemies of the Confederacy. What is Order 66?
Orders. I'm not sure.
I do not know either. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and get a drink. Do you want anything?
No, I'm good. Take your camera back over here. Got some black ink on all these pieces. Trying to do these in 3 stages. I have the Sigmarite Temple ruins as well. The ones at the steps that these go to. Those are all going to be pretty monotone except for some metals. But these, they have these little bricks in them. They said they're fine when it's not too wet. These little bricks right here. I'm going to try and do those like a, kind of a terracotta or something. I think that might break up the grays a little bit. So here's something. What was the point of the clones? Like they have all these Jedi. I mean, granted, they don't have an army that huge, but they have a pretty good army of like severely disciplined knights, essentially. Like, why? It seems like one Jedi could take out 500 of those clone troopers. Like, what was the point? Order 66 is the order to attack the Jedi on the premise that the Jedi gun trader. So is that what Anakin gets in the third one? Or maybe it was an excuse for the war. I don't know what this music is right now, but I'm gonna do something about it. I thought the Jedi Order is mostly on Coruscant. Yeah, they pretty much have a one-on-one master apprentice type of teaching. Let's take a look at Taylor's miniature here. I really like these sculpts. I think that big 5 head's gonna look pretty good once it dries. I don't know. I could see it. I could see the argument. But it seems like a lot of dots. There's like a lot of moving parts in like for the Sith. You know what I mean?
Do they have health insurance in 40K?
Why would you think that?
So you get signed up for the Imperium.
You signed up for the Imperium.
You join the Imperial Army, right? You get like a healthcare plan.
You get a commissar.
But do you get like flu shots and such?
No, like the Imperial Guard are the punks of the Imperium. They don't get anything.
So does anybody have like healthcare benefits?
No, like
What about rich people?
the joke with the Imperial Guard is that there's so many people in the Imperium, like they can just fight for like 1,000 years, like losing every battle and not really break a sweat with the Imperial Guard. You know what I mean? Like, they're just replaceable,
You know what's bullshit is every time they nuke somewhere and their people are on the planet, they leave their people on the planet. Like,
That's grimdark.
it's wasteful.
They're not going green.
No, they're not paying. Like, what are their taxes going towards?
They don't have taxes. They just get their shit taken.
Well, they don't have taxes at least, but they still get their shit taken. So it's still like
Insurance.
do they have-
I'm laughing because I'm like neck deep in like Necromunda lore, so where it's like a nice plate of corpse starch is a good year for you.
So like, do you get like health insurance and shit in like Star Wars?
No, but they in Star Wars they seem to have limitless
Wait, hang on.
medical capabilities.
They probably have insurance on some planets, including some subsector and sector capitals, but mostly for highborn and mostly for cargo, unless the planet is contaminated.
Mostly for cargo.
You order exterminus of the planet because you have no right to leave human beings behind to suffer the advances of Xenos. But they could pick them up. They could hitch a ride. Could they not?
No, humans are replaceable. In the scheme of 40,000 years, I mean, like, how many times do all the humans get replaced?
So I've been reading up on Beastmen, and apparently everybody's really shitty to them, and then they all want to sit there like, oh, of course they're chaos, they're Beastmen. Like, have they tried being kind to the Beastmen? I understand, like, the Beastmen are grody and kind of gross, but, like, could they, like, be civil to them at least? Is that, like, outside the realm of comprehension?
I mean, you run into it more in, like, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, I think.
No, the Beastmen are, like, totally a thing, and apparently, like, they have an army and everything, apparently.
Okay.
Apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean, sort of. Beastmen are, like, it's a kind of a generic throwaway term for anyone that's a mutant, sort of.
Well, no, they're specified now. They're not mutants.
Like in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, there's all sorts of beastmen. There's like beastmen, like some of them might have like a tentacle foot or something, or one might have like a beak on his face, or like.
No, but I mean like the ones in like 40K. Hang on a second. The contamination is deep within the population. If you evacuate them without purging them, you risk spreading Xenos and chaos contamination. But what about your men?
Spoken like a true
At least get your men out. Like, don't just leave all your men. Like, thank you for your service. Bye. But like, in 40K, the Beastmen, right? Like,
they're not as big in 40K as they are in Fantasy.
Well, they're not like.
They are present.
Yeah. I have a theory about the Imperium that they're their own worst enemies and that everything that happens to them is their own doing and that they need, like, better, like, diplomatic relations. They need a new diplomatic relations guy.
Look at Marty over here.
Can you imagine if they had, like, diplomats they sent out every time they found a new, like, Xeno species?
As rogue traders, basically. Rogue trader, like if a rogue trader in the Imperium gets to you before an Inquisitor does, like you have a chance at least, because they want to profit off of meeting this new.
But I'm talking actual like diplomats.
Yeah, they don't really have those in the Imperium.
That's not really a thing.
Like they either exploit you with a rogue trader or
kill you with a freaking
purge the Xenos.
Purge the heretic.
Look at Marty's little sweater over here. Marty.
I'm hoping with Psychic Awakening, everyone like gets mad one day that they're all brainwashed and they all like rise up and overthrow the Imperium. I have cultist tendencies, I must admit.
Do you have a black paint?
You still love me.
Yeah, what?
I told you I have chaos tendencies. I'm using
I'm
that.
not taking it. I'm not taking it.
I'm using that. Soon I figure out what the hell I was looking for. What is this weird anime music?
It's my jam, that's what it is.
So extermination is viewed as an act of mercy to prevent suffering, plus exterminatus is the only way to prevent the formation of a demon world. As the warp contamination of a planet reaches full demonic world class, the planet becomes so steeped in chaos immaterial properties that you can't get close enough to exterminatus the planet without the launch ship malfunctioning and the cyclonic torpedoes or virus bombs or nuclear bombardment going bad. So I take it. So if anybody escapes off one of these planets, it's like super a bad thing. Like these planets that are like destined for exterminatus.
Be a good plot for like 40k roleplay.
That happens though. One of these 40k books, somebody escapes off a planet seconds before it blows up. They basically fly the ship out of the bomb
Yeah,
cloud.
then does the Imperium hunt them down?
I don't know. I haven't read the second book yet.
What book was that?
Oh, I don't want to talk. I don't want to reveal it. It's super spoilery.
Super split.
It's like one of those freaking like something out of Tropic Thunder. Like the ship's like rattling apart as the cloud detonates. The ledge they're standing on crumbles beneath them as the detonations start going off in the distance. They're all gonna die. They start to plummet to their death. They don't quite land in the ship, but like seconds before, they're going to plummet to their death. It's like very maudlin. Let's talk about the language they use in Warhammer novels for a second. So, hang on. So the Imperium would rather exterminate us a world to prevent a new demon world from forming than let it live and be undestroyable, or contaminate the Imperium with chaos cultists and dark whispers. I suppose I wouldn't live very long in Warhammer. I'd be like, why can't we just be friends
Nobody
with
does.
them?
We lost 2 characters today in our Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay campaign. Like, it was nothing. Like,
In the arms of the angels.
I had the coolest fight I've ever had in a role-playing game today.
Apparently there were birds involved.
Yes. It was like 5. It was like 5 guys.
Burgers and fries.
That I ended up killing. And it was. I was a Sigmarite priest, and I got to use all of my buffs and everything. And I was just a tank.
So does everybody else have to make new characters now?
Jason and Andy.
Did they just make new characters?
No, they haven't yet. But another guy's a wizard. Like we had a book stolen out of our hands by a thief. So a wizard in our party, he turns into a bird. He takes off. He's like, I'm just gonna follow the thief. And there was like 5 thugs standing in our way, to block us from chasing after the thieves that took our book. And so like one of our guys charges in and they just stab him to death. And so then I have to get my hammers out and I have to start just beating everybody. Meanwhile, the guy that turned into a bird gets chased by a flock of pigeons. And so he's having, like, it was basically, I think the GM was like, okay, I need to do something about this bird metamorphosis thing he keeps doing. You know what I mean? Because it would have just completely killed the whole mission, I guess, from GM standpoint. So he just had this epic battle with a bunch of pigeons. And he had when he turns into a bird, he has a bird's hit points and a bird's, you know what I mean?
Because a bird's a hit point.
Yeah, it's like
I feel like that's bad.
Like 1 or 2 hit points and he's dead, sort of thing. You know what I mean? He has no armor. He's just getting his ass kicked by a flock of pigeons.
Did he overcome in the end?
Yeah, he had to use a fate point, but he They broke his concentration midair. They were like kicking his ass, and he turned into a human like midair, but he fell into a river. But needless to say, he didn't follow the thief.
There.
It's a really good battle.
I completely lost my train of thought now. So basically, it's a utilitarian decision to save some of the greater Imperium and all mankind. Are you really saving them, though? Everybody seems very brainwashed. Very brainwashed. I hope they all rise up one day. They have, like, the Imperium Revolution, where they go around guillotining people. Guillotining. Whatever.
Guillotine.
Guillotine. Not on guillotine. This hired guillotine. Imagine if they got, like... What if all the rogue psychers, like, rose up together and overthrew the Emperor?
Wouldn't happen. Never.
So, did you know that, like, they test rogue psychers and they find out they're rogue psychers, and if they can't control their powers, they, like, kill them immediately?
Or turn him into a sanctioned psyker.
Oh no, that's if they can control their powers. If they can't control them, then whoop, on the spot.
No, they sacrifice him at the golden.
They don't sacrifice. No, they kill him. I read this. I read up on this recently. I was curious because of the psychic awakening. That's basically the outcome I hope for with Psychic Awakening is that they all rise up and there's like an epic battle, and it can be one of those 1,000-year forest battles. It gets like 60 books, and it can be all about how they overthrew the Emperor, which can be a new chapter or whatever.
That's the argument that Chaos Gals usually pitch at people are trying to corrupt, is that their Emperor is just like
a floating dead corpse.
No, he's pretty much just another Chaos God. You know what I mean?
What if they just tell him he's a floating dead corpse?
He doesn't float, he just kind of sits there.
Wait, what if they tell him he's just pretty much a barely sentient corpse?
Oh, he guides the Astronomicon.
Is that really helping anybody, though?
Yeah, it's
so imagine if the
faster than light travel.
But all they do with that is go to war. So imagine if they...
No, it connects it's like the roads that connect the entire Imperium, basically, you know what I mean?
Well, they can disconnect the Imperium and re-enter into a dark age from which they will emerge smarter, better, with health insurance.
You know, upset they don't have health insurance for 40 days, aren't you?
Well, what happens if you're in the military and you get a cold? Do they get to go on leave?
Well, they probably just shoot you.
Do you get to go on, like, leave? You get holidays off? You get furlough? You don't ever ask these questions? That's why I stopped reading Harry Potter. I got way too hung up on the economy.
How does this wizard economy work?
Well, there's not nearly enough jobs, and, like, my reoccurring problem is that if the Weasley family is so desperately poor as they're always made out to be, why doesn't Molly go back to work after Ginny goes to Hogwarts? Why does Molly continue to stay at home? Why does Ron have to wear secondhand robes to the Yule Ball and his mother can get a job? Nobody else is ever bothered by this. The number of worlds shrinks. Like Feral Worlds, War Worlds, Forge Worlds, Night Worlds, Fortress Worlds, Hive Worlds, Mining Worlds, Frontier Worlds, Death Worlds. The number of worlds shrinks and expands every decade. As worlds are lost or go rogue, and worlds are settled or resettled or annexed into the Imperium, the Astronauticon is a navigational beacon that navigators use to orient themselves in the warp. It improves travel times and travel reliability by orders of magnitude. But after the formation of the Dark Imperium and the Great Rift, the beacon is weaker on that side of the galaxy. I see. And the Great Rift is that big jet thing.
So
Yes,
like,
I've seen it.
you
Yes.
can't do without the Emperor, really.
What happens if you wake him up?
He won't wake up. That's the thing. He's like comatose.
Well, they put him in a coma to help deal with the pain. So, like, what if you, like, bring him out of the coma, like, guess what, motherfucker?
Put his sword in his hand. He's like a fucking corpse.
Starts moaning, kill Your Majesty! Designers, models. Here, I'll put the camera on you for a second.
Wow. What's up?
Oh no, it's just I'm not doing something very interesting.
Oh,
You're
okay.
over there. I'm painting feet right now.
I'm painting the wood parts now. Put some burn number on it, maybe a little nutmeg.
Every time I paint up bare feet on models, I feel like I'm painting the feet of Christ. Don't ask why. Little 28mm Jesus, especially this guy, like how his feet are like dangling.
Painting what?
No.
I don't understand that statement.
They don't look like those little, like, you get like a little crucifix and it's got the little Jesus feet on there. This is my body, this is my blood, and these are my feet.
The feet of Christ be with you. Is that a thing?
It's a blessing with his hands. He like wipes his foot on you as you walk by. Touches you with his toes.
Ew. Ew.
Alright, don't say ew. It's the feet of Jesus we're
Nice
talking
feet.
about here. His dusty Nazareth feet.
Ew.
Nazareth Nikes. I'm glad you don't wear sandals like that.
Men just have disgusting feet. Like, put some socks on.
Women have disgusting feet too.
I don't wear shoes around my house, but it's my house.
Women have disgusting feet too, though, dude. Like upsetting feet. Like, you ever see a woman wear high heels that are just like way too small for her feet? They're like jammed in there. You can see them like spilling over the top. And you're like, that has to hurt. Like, that, you have to be so uncomfortable right now.
What are you listening to, dude?
Nightbot.
Nightbot took over.
Sure did. I like how it sounds like real music. I mean, it is real music, obviously, but it sounds like, you know, like, familiar, but you, like, you know, this is not a song you've heard before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just feel like listening to this like top 40 radio shit right now.
I hate these little skeletons hanging here. These are really fragile. The guy I'm doing these for warned me about them.
I was gonna say I'll take them off your hands.
Oh,
but
no. I might have to reattach them with some actual, like, necklace chain or something. I don't really trust that flimsy plastic there.
Where ships would be lost and everything would be slower, like tugboat slow. Ships would disappear, ships would go off course, and ships would take longer to reach the intended destination. War cry bells and gibbets. High heels in general make feet like gotta start drag queens, etc. Shoes that can make your feet bleed if you stand in them for less than 8 hours are bad. That's why I don't wear high heels. Every time I wear high heels, I wind up just taking my shoes off and walking around barefoot at some point. My feet feel like they're gonna like come off. And it's always the day Brian decides he wants to stop at the grocery store. So I have to go clack around in my painful ass high heels, like And of course, he doesn't understand or care.
He's like, what? How can you say these things? That's
Because
terrible.
you realize I'm in pain, and you insist that we, go look over here just to see what they have, even though you know damn good and well what they have. You're like, they might have something different I haven't seen before. And then we were just here on Tuesday, and it's now Friday. That's why you take comfortable shoes when you wear high heels. Yeah. See what everybody else does at work and keep shoes under my desk.
I'm not a heels fan. Like, you don't want to wear heels? I don't care.
I mostly wear combat boots and Chuck Taylors.
You don't have any
Flip flop.
boots.
I have the black ones with the pink.
I guess those are. Yeah, they're like short combat boots.
Yes. I don't like tall combat boots. It's too much lacing.
When you say combat boots, that's what I think of. It's like the normal.
If you Google combat boots, my kind is what comes up because I'm a woman and we know fashion. You do not.
When I think of combat boots, I think of like army surplus store combat boots.
Did a lot of time and seen a lot of shit in Nam. Combat boots.
They're like you're about to go paintballing and you need some.
Oh.
Those kinds of combat boots. Combat boots.
Do you buy combat boots to go paintballing in?
I have before.
Is that a thing you do?
Yeah, you usually do it for fatigues.
I see. I've never been a paintballing.
You want to get baggy fatigues, especially if you're like playing. It's not like at a sanctioned place. Like if you're just playing the woods somewhere, because people turn their gun speed all the way up. It'll really hurt if you don't have something baggy on.
I've heard. If you turned the gun speed all the way up and shot me, I'd fucking kick your ass.
I would always warn people.
I would
yeah,
fucking
exactly.
kick your ass. I would fucking.
I would show everybody what I'm setting mine to, because there'd be like a gun there where you can test the speed. I'll show everybody what I'm setting mine to. So you crank your shit up on me, I'm gonna fucking punch you.
Those are assholes.
Yep.
You have to punch anybody?
No, because what ends up happening is people turn it up while they shoot you, and then they'll try to prove later that they didn't have it turned up. They'll turn it back down and go back to the speed gun or whatever.
I take it that happened to you.
Yeah, you get some arguments with people.
I'd be so fucking pissed at you. Like
if you call somebody out and you can't prove it, what do you do?
I'd be so fucking pissed. Put the comfort shoes in the purse or in the car. Feet are important. My purse already has my purse at any given time has my gigantic wallet, like one or more decent sized books. Some other shit I couldn't tell you what it is. And I have a giant purse too. It's so big. And everything always sinks straight to the bottom of it. But yeah. Oh yeah, everybody, check out my super neon sweater I acquired. It's like neon yellow. Like the worst shade. I picked it up just because of that. I was walking through Walmart and I saw it and I was like, God, that's ugly as hell. And then I walked by it again and I was like, this is coming home with me. I'm gonna wear it to work tomorrow for my coworkers. One of my coworkers told me I dress like Rainbow Bright, so I'm just kind of at this point trying to lean into it, like hell yeah. Now, when you're painting with typhus corrosion, or typhoid corrosion, do you do the shade first, or do you do your typhus first?
It's an effects paint, so it's not really like that.
I like how I painted one of his things and not his other thing. Or do you just put it where you want it in some places?
So basically, it's mix. It adds a texture. wherever you put it, it makes it brown and it gives it this sandy texture.
I see.
And then when you dry brush over that with the orange, the RZA Rust, right? Since that paint is so dry, it'll just pick up on the sandy bits.
I see.
It'll still have the dark brown, red underneath it.
I see. We need like actual dark shade. Like your dark shade is like black, and then the sepia is like sepia. And neither one is right for skin tone. As I'm discovering on my psycher. He doesn't look that bad. I don't know. What do you think?
Did you put another wash over his head since the last saw it?
I did the Gilliman contrast.
Nice.
You like it? Then just since we don't have that, I'm just gonna keep watering down a little Gilliman contrast on the palette, using that as a wash. I do like using the contrast paints as washes. Like if you water them down, you can get some nice effects.
What?
Is that pizza still sitting out?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what's up with my iPod.
What are you trying to do?
No, I was trying to do a song.
What else do you think you're working on tonight?
I want to get the dry brush on this so I can at least get the metals tomorrow. The ink I put on earlier is almost dry. I put some black on the wood pieces here. Just do a little dry brush with burnt umber, some nutmeg or brown oxide brown on top of that.
I gotcha.
And then the whole thing's gonna get a dry brush of light gray. Oh, I have to do the terracotta bricks too. Yeah, I can go ahead and do those right now. It's really deep, like a maroonish color in there.
Huh?
Like a maroonish color in there. That's something you use regularly, like a terracotta.
Can I take a look? Feast your eyeballs. Feast your eyeballs. There's also those. It's kind of terracotta colored. What's that?
Or fur brown.
The Gruntifer brown.
Brown.
So what do you think of Gruntifer? Do you like her? You don't like Gruntifer? Xelid09, Brian doesn't like Gruntifer. He does not appreciate her beauty, her accomplishments, the 3 instruments she plays, the 5 languages she speaks, 3 of which are dead. She was the youngest designer ever to show at Warhammer Fashion Week.
What?
Would it be like Nolan Fashion Week? It'd probably be like
Marienburg.
Marienburg Fashion Week. She started out as a D&D character. I don't know why she's like in Marienburg, but okay. How do you think Gandalf would do in Warhammer?
I think you do alright.
Got their fucking shit out. The staff.
I think the stuff Gandalf does is up to par with most of the badasses in the Warhammer Fantasy.
It's because most of the badasses in the Warhammer Fantasy universe were based on Gandalf. They all wish they could be Gandalf. Gandalf Greyhand. Gandalf Stormcrow.
Gandalf Great Lane.
Oh, don't you dare. Don't you dare. He insulted Gandalf. He's going to hell. You don't get to pass into the Undying Lands. So I'm reading Them Knock the Devil right now.
What's that?
It's the 5th book in the Vampire Chronicles. So Lestat is hanging out with Satan because Satan wants to recruit him to be his lieutenant. And they're discussing why Satan fell. And Satan's talking about how, shit, I just lost my train of thought completely. We'll be revisiting the subject here in a second.
I'm talking about the 5th book.
What were we talking about right before that?
Right before that?
Yeah.
It was super important.
It really was. Oh no, anyway, it was talking about how, like, the angels are all hanging out watching God create everything, and every time he makes something new, they're like, damn, that's cool, look at that, that's sick, oh, that's really sick, that's really sick. And meanwhile, Satan's sitting there more and more like, man, look, these people are sentient now. Look, they have faces. Look, they have, like, wings and everything. It was just funny, because it is, like, if you've ever read the Silmarillion, it's kind of similar to, like, the opening in that when the god or whatever of Middle Earth is going around creating all the stuff and, like, all the, they don't have angels. Like, Gandalf is technically one of these, like, not angels. You know what I mean? It's just
like a spirit kind of, like.
But they're, like, basically angels for all intents and purposes. It's, like, kind of like a perverse version of that, you know what I mean? From, like, Lucifer's point of view. It was actually interesting. It was kind of funny, though, because he's sitting there getting increasingly, like, worked up. Finally, God one day is just like, you know what? I'm kicking you out now. You gotta go. Bye. He feels some type of way about it. He's very butthurt. These books keep getting increasingly ridiculous, though. Like, Lestat's running around punching Satan in the face. Like, I bought, like, so there's 2 series that intercross, right? There's the Mayfair Witches and the Vampire Chronicles, right? The Mayfair Witches, the first book in the series, I bought it, and it's like 1,000 pages long. It's supposed to be really good gothic horror, so I'm looking forward to it. To 1,000 pages of Anne Rice horror that eventually, like, intersects with the Vampire Chronicles horror.
Is Anne Rice really horror?
I would say yes. I would say it's about, like, the things that her vampires do, like, the increasingly terrible things that Lestat does. I would say it's on par with about Vampire the Masquerade. Oh, thank you for following Zamork98.
Zamork98.
Like, it gets goofy, but the goofiness is still, like, horrifically awful. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some more bricks. I just saw some more bricks, right?
Like, there's one point where he basically, like, you find this out in the book after it happens, but, like, God and Satan were debating for this man's soul, and then, like, Lestat turned, like, he was really greedy and, like, in love with the guy, and the guy didn't want to be a vampire, but he was, like, dying, and Lestat made him a vampire against his will. So, like, both God and Satan are, like, really pissed off about this. I know you don't care at all about them.
Yes, I might just go full steam forward, or like full steam ahead with this Warcraft stuff tonight. It might fill up the whole time slot without getting into the Necromunda piece.
How do you think we're gonna go?
What do you think? You gotta work tomorrow with my girl.
I do. Say 11 or?
Well, it's almost 11 right now.
Oh, like 11:30. How long do you want to go? Because all my projects are stop and start. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yours are the really involved ones. So, like, how long do you wish to go?
I can go for another half hour or an hour. So
Which one? Pick one.
What do I have to pick?
Would you like me to pick?
Yes. This is like us picking dinner.
And then usually we go with the laziest option. Let me see. Let's call it half an hour for right now, and then we'll see how we feel.
Yeah. I do want to see these pieces almost done without the men's on. At least want to see that.
We might have to toss another load of laundry in, though.
I could do that.
That load that sat in the dryer forever. It was wet. It was wet in the dryer. I was looking for a pair of jeans, like
you guys
black
ever do
jeans,
that?
right? And finally, I was like, they're in the damn dryer. And I went and I opened the dryer, and everything in there is still wet, right? So I turned the dryer on, and they should be dry now, but they probably smell like funk.
Like all the hustle you put into doing that load of laundry earlier is out the window now.
It means you're not responsible enough to drive.
You might as well not even try. At least you would just have dry, dirty clothes.
Hey, man.
Wet, dirty.
That's how I feel every time I do the freaking laundry and it floods. Like, why did I even bother doing this? Now I'm worse off than I was before. So I had dry, dirty clothes and the laundry room wasn't wet. Now I have wet, dirty clothes. And the laundry room is soaked. Sitting here painting my Urkel butt.
Your what?
Urkel butt.
Sounds like you're saying Urkel butt.
It's an Urkel butt. No, so he has a very well-defined pelvic region, but with like nothing. There's just a bulge. He has a pelvic bulge.
Oh, God.
I know. What if they castrate them? Did you know that the Eldar apparently like to keep the Urgels as pets, and when they have like fancy
Dark Eldar.
yeah, when they like have dinner parties, they invite the people over, and then like they feed the people to the Urgels. That's the entertainment for the evening. The Blackstone Fortress can basically summon up like enemies from like anywhere. So like you keep saying you're gonna put some Necromunda people in there. Do you have any like Necromunda baddies you'd like to see appear in the Blackstone Fortress?
Baddies?
Yeah.
I don't know about baddies.
Are there some Necromunda goodies you'd like to get lost and have appear in the Blackstone Fortress?
Maybe. There's also there's another rogue trader.
I have her.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
From the kill team stuff.
Oh. I have the one from the escalation set.
I think I have it over there.
Mine?
See on the third from the top shelf over there? On the back right. There's she's the one with the face thing.
Yeah, I have her.
You do?
Yeah, you gave me the escalation set and then you bought your own.
No, it's not escalation.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about, yeah. Are you ever gonna play that with me again?
Blackstone Fortress?
You don't care.
Yes.
I think it's stupid. You're stupid.
Your mother.
I'm stupid.
Okay, guys, I got some nice fur brown, some Taylor's Army Painter fur brown. I put
Fur
on.
brown.
Just the bricks there. I want the other bricks to stay like gray stone. So I'm gonna let those dry.
Are you gonna play your games? You're not playing your game anymore.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I might be done with it.
I'm okay with that because it means I can watch more Project Runway. Project Runway, everybody, make it work. D&D can be just as dark. Mind Flayers have eating amphitheaters, so a whole Mind Flayer community can enjoy the eating glow of a Mind Flayer eating the brains of a live sentient being. Hello, mood has gotten to D&D myself, but right now I'm trying to paint my 40k army. The fact that Mind Flayers spawn larvae in a pool with the brain pool. Zachmork98, what are you painting? What 40k army did you decide upon? And put them in ears of victims so they eat the brain and hijack the brainstem of a humanoid in order to make them another Mind Flayer. So I saw Stranger Things before I started looking at, like, D&D. So I don't think I have a good understanding of what the mind flayer actually is. Other than the kids like, it's a mind flayer! And you're like, okay, children, I don't know what that is, but sure, it's a mind flayer! So what precisely, other than, hijacking brain stems, etc., or is that the mind flayer's whole shtick is hijacking limbs? Or brain stems, I should say. Also probably limbs. It'd probably take over the whole body at some point, I imagine. You went with the Chaos Space Marines. Super good times. I've got one here I'm working on. Right now I've just got him based, his base coat on. I don't mean base like I actually based him because I never actually base anything because I'm terrible and I'm going to hell. But I am working on him. I plan to make him really gross and awful looking if I can. I know, I was kind of like freeze up on like trying to make him look gross and awful. Like I'm like, I always want to go really gross with it, and then I'm like, no, that's not tasteful, and then like I don't wind up doing anything with them, and they wind up sitting there forever, like half done. But yeah, especially with the like Nurgle models. Like Brian thinks I don't like Nurgle. It's not that I don't like Nurgle. I just kind of like I don't know what to do with Nurgle. Like, do you go full nasty? Do you go like tastefully nasty? Is tastefully nasty a thing? That spot was totally still wet. Like 1,000% still wet. Have to come back to that foot there in a little bit. Clean that up a whole hell of a lot. He keeps taking my water. You have some iron powder, you're going to add some rust to them, and you have to go tastefully nasty. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to have, like, for example, like, zit pus, like, coming out of, like, a boil on the side. But, like, to me, like I totally want to have like zit pus coming out of a boil on the side, and like I know that's foul, but at the same time, like I don't really want to paint that. Like, you ever tried doing a Rizarust at all, or like as a dry brush? Like it's really effective if you're going for like that rust iron color. All right, let him dry. Let that foot dry, so I can come back and do something with that. All right. Lastly, let's start on our Arco-Flagellant. He's extra heavy metal. Heavy plastic, I should say. I like how he still has nipples. Everyone in Warhammer has nipples and no buttholes. As Excel 809 helped us establish earlier in the stream, they just have plugs. Speaking of plugs, this guy has plugs in excess, like little ports for extra wires to be hooked up to him for. And again, he's push fit and I did not glue. Brian's over there like, you're gonna regret that. And I'm like, I know, but they said it's supposed to be push fit, no glue, so I'm testing it. Now his gaps are not that bad. They were a bit worse on the whatchamacallem, the Rogue Psyker. The flagellants came together pretty well, I would say. They might have plugs. Think Matrix. All the plugs and machines installed on people in order to be sustained in the pods. Which begs the question: in the Matrix, did they have like a waste plug, like a bio excrement plug or something? Basically, was Neo pooping into a tube in his belly button for like the first 30 years of his life? Might be. I mean, it seems pretty dystopian. You wake up and find out that not only is your whole life a lie, but you've also been like shitting in a plug in a belly button your entire life. Brian,
Yo.
what if Neo was shitting into a plug into his belly button his entire life before he escaped the Matrix?
He was.
Yeah, he's shitting into a plug in his belly button. Is that what that like worm thing?
What?
Is that what that worm thing that they pulled out of the picture was?
No,
They
that
put
was
on
the
his
tracking
belly button?
device that they put on him.
I see. Am I in this picture? Should I smile or something?
No. Maybe.
Can you take a picture?
Yeah.
Okay. There. There. That's a terrible picture of me.
No, it was a good picture. I just like a
He
picture.
doesn't take good pictures of me.
Yes, I do.
No, he does not. He always picks like the worst picture of me. Like, this looks really cute. BRB, I'm gonna put it on Instagram now. I get no say in this. You okay?
Yes.
What are you thinking about?
Pizza.
Where? Are you gonna go have some more?
No, I'm just a little patch of here needs to try it. I'm gonna finish this. Everything except metals and obviously the phones like this.
How much more do you have to go on it?
I just need to put 2 coats in the wood and then dry brush the whole thing. And then I only do metals and phones. I'm gonna do the whole thing with a light gray dry brush because when the wood
The
looks
plugs
older.
were his life support or neutral, and they were floating in a bath of fluid that had to be recycled, and you are fed a recycled fluid made of other people that were inside the Matrix, a digital environment. It was basically a program with the digital appearance of a robot worm that was lodged in the code of Neo's consciousness in the Matrix. Everyone was code in the Matrix. Human code is complex, too complex. I mean, they had them pretty well wrangled in for the most part. Did they get like a virus or something? Or like, I haven't watched The Matrix like closely in years. I feel like we watched it not that long ago and I totally wasn't paying attention. Or no, is it The Matrix? It was the one where he's dead.
Which one was he dead in?
Is it 3?
He died in it.
Doesn't he come back from the dead? Like Jesus.
No.
Isn't there
Or
one?
no, the first one they thought he died and he stood up and he kept fighting.
No, the third one, he's actually dead.
Yeah, I guess.
Does he come back?
No, I think that's it.
Oh. Does Trinity die too?
Yeah.
Well, no, first Neo dies. They have to be together. I wasn't a big fan of Trinity.
Me either.
And she wasn't awful, she just kind of was like, I'm here to be your girlfriend. while machine codes were more orderly but still spontaneous when they were fully sentient.
Marty. Oh no.
That one guy on Project Runway lives here in Raleigh. He made it all the way to, like, Fashion Week. It's really sad. He was a really sweet guy.
Oh, you got it off?
Yeah.
Project Runway.
What? I don't appreciate these nice things.
I actually like shows like that for like background on paint. I'm not hating. Get some burnt umber.
No. I've got the next best thing though.
Do you have
Well, how
nutmeg?
much of it are you using?
You have nutmeg brown.
No, that's still way upstairs. I might have a little bit down here. I don't know if it's actually not big brown though, because it's not labeled.
Yeah, I'll take one too. Oh, no.
Don't use a lot of it though. Don't use a lot. That was like $6.
It was $6.
Yes, it was.
It's a lot of stuff.
It says it's actual miniature paint.
Oh! Oh!
Don't use all. I use a lot of it.
Actual miniature
I
paint.
use a lot of that color. Just don't use all of it.
There's a lot left.
Yes, don't use all of it.
Needs only contrast paint.
No, I don't use all of it. The only one I used all of was the contrast red, and that was an accent. An accent that's now on our carpet. If you miss it that badly, you can go get it on the carpet. Are we stopping at 11:30 or are we going till midnight?
What do you want to do?
I don't know. I feel like Marty needs to go out again. I was gonna see, like, if you want to go until 11:30, I'll just hang out and wait. If you want to go until midnight, I was gonna go ahead and take him.
If you want to go ahead and take them now, I got some paint to do.
Okay. You wanna go bye-bye?
Taylor is taking her little boy on a walk.
You wanna go bye-bye?
Put some browns on this
Go bye-bye? Oh, it's a little Christmas sweater.
wood.
It's a little Merry Christmas sweater.
Here, split it. Right.
Dang it, man. Sorry. What are you trying to do?
Sure. Marty in his Christmas sweater.
It's Marty in his Christmas sweater.
You can't see it.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Well, no, because that's not live.
Oh.
No, it's a Marty. No, say hi, everybody.
Hi, Marty.
No.
Okay, he wants to go.
Ew.
Poor dog.
It's heavy.
Poor little guy.
It's
His
okay.
life is so hard. So I think I'm gonna save the big necromunda piece for Tuesday or Wednesday. I wanted to talk to some people tonight and see when's a good night. I'm gonna try to open all week. I need to start forming a streaming schedule. Looks like for now I'm still doing White Metal Games on Friday nights. Taylor's doing her stream here on Friday nights, and then we're both doing Married with Minis on Saturday. And I think Taylor still wants to continue doing her own stream on Sundays. This is just kind of just celebrating having the streaming studio open now. As far as when I'm going to stream, I haven't really streamed as much as Taylor, so I gotta make my own way in the world, so to speak. Clean room. This is clean. No, it's really nice to just be able to lay out your projects out. You know what I mean? We've had them in piles in all different rooms for months now, and being able to see them all on one shelf or put them all on one tabletop puts everything into perspective. Kind of eases the mind. You don't feel overwhelmed anymore. Just do it one project at a time. Another thing is on big projects, which is what I prefer to work on. If you can't see it all splayed out on a table together, something you start in the beginning of a big project will be totally different by the end. If you can't constantly look at it together and recalibrate, just to keep it consistent. So all the big stuff I've been working on has been kind of frustrating. I've never seen all my terrain on one table, for instance, for a Necromunda. Like theoretically, I know it's a good terrain set, but I haven't seen it working yet in a game. Yeah, no longer clean. There's some nice industrial shelving back here for some of the bigger terrain pieces, though. I had a single car garage when we lived in Cincinnati. I was running out of town, so I had studios. I had the whole garage converted just to build terrain on an industrial scale. I was doing 4 by 6 foot boards a week. And it was going pretty good for a while, for about a year and a half or so. And then one day the market just fell out. A lot of people started selling terrain, and nobody knew what to charge for it anymore, and everyone's undercutting everybody. It was just nasty. Lately, I found this place, White Metal Games, up the street in Nightdale, which is crazy because it's literally like a third of a mile away from me. Oh, thanks for the follow, Lord of Spuds. Yeah, about a year ago, I found this place, White Metal Games, and they do like high-end mini painting and stuff. And I started doing some side jobs for them, and I think it was last January or something. They hired me on full time, and I've been doing terrain and tutorials and stuff over there ever since. Really fortunate I found that place though, because I was doing like all kinds of other jobs at the time. I kind of burned out on terrain from running my own studio, and like having a 9 to 5 doing this every day just takes the heat off. You can just enjoy what you do again. So this past year has been really good for me, an artist. The rest of my life has always fallen to shit, but my hobby is on point this past year. I'm generally happy, which is usually not the case with me. I'm usually a miserable person. Cannot wait to put this dry brush on here. Oh my god. A little more ink. Yeah, this thing's gonna just pop off. I can already see it. I'm gonna have to get, rig something up, put some actual chain on there. My friend was right. It's totally gonna fall off. Let's It's almost all the wood. A little bit here. I think that's all the wood. I'm going to put a little bit of black ink back on the like terracotta bricks I was doing. Hopefully it's all dry. Mostly. Yeah, I can already see it. If I put ink on this right now, it's going to run. Yeah, that's really good there. Maybe not. Maybe it just looks wet. Alright, I'll try it. We'll get the ink out. We're going to do this. I'm putting my ink directly on there. I'm going to mess with the palette. I just want to put it in the spot with those bricks. And try not to get on the little columns in between there. Are you working on anything tonight, Excel? Studying D&D adventures. Are you DMing a game right now, or are you looking at starting one? You can just read it for fun, kind of like a choose your own adventure sort of thing. It's really what it is. Like if you're reading through a campaign book, you get to see all the outcomes. You thinking about getting into game design, or just interested in general? Yeah, some of that brown was still wet, but that's okay. Black ink's gonna make up for it. Learn about writing, creative writing, games, and dice. It's a very specific interest. I like flipping through core rule books for role playing games. like about character creation and all that. Just kind of gets the noodle going, you know. Creative juices. When dice gives you a flat line probability. 2 dice to send dice gives you a turn. Do something. Whoa! So you're getting like into like the numbers of it and everything. Like trying to mimic reality with odds, essentially, right? Huh. You'd probably be a nightmare at a casino, man. They'd be watching you close. I pretty much lose it. Like, alright, for instance, I can't count cards, but in, was it 60 card blackjack? I can generally keep track of, if you're playing cards with 6 people or something, plus a dealer, I could pretty much keep track of, what the odds the next card's going to be. You know what I mean? But anything beyond that, so I don't know, is that 1 in 60? Those sorts of odds I can kind of wrap my head around. Anything beyond that gets too crazy for me. It also means you can't replace 1d20 with a 2d20 or with a 2d10. Have you ever tried a D100 system? I really like D100 because you can play with people that have never played a game before, and everybody understands percentages. Like if I say there's a 40% chance you could hit this guy in the face and knock him out, you understand what that is. So you just roll 1d100 and you have to roll under 40. So it's like really friendly with newbies, people that just want to role play without getting bogged down in rules and stuff.
I have a guess that's why they call it the blues by Elton John stuff in my head.
Guess that's what I call it, the blues.
Well, it's not that country at all. It's pretty damn country.
That's what Elton John was.
So I guess that's why they call it the blues. What's really gross is when you haven't worked out in a while and you go to like shake a bottle, you can feel your chicken wing arm like flapping. Like you're not fat, but you have no tone, like no muscle tone.
If you're doing that, you could like see like pieces of paper in the room and stuff. Like,
what if I started flapping my arms and like the loose skin cut hold and I like took off? What would you do? Start flying around the room.
Like hit the ceiling.
Land on the glass case over here. Very. Oh my god! Like when What We Do in the Shadows, when she turned into the bat, like the really shitty bat. Where she's like, she had the human torso still as like a baby.
Yeah. I never saw what happened to her.
I'm sure she comes back next season. If you guys are not watching What We Do in the Shadows, you absolutely should.
It won't let Excel request a song. It did that to me earlier too. I only requested 2
Try it again. It says they're limited to 2 songs per user. If you wait a few minutes and try it again, it should let you.
I only requested 1 song.
I don't know. I have everything set to be allowed, so like. You think it's Frozen? Hang on.
Nightbot.
Yeah. Frozen stuck playing Nightbot music. Alright, let's see if it's gonna play now. Okay. I guess it's playing Diane Ward now. Let's get past Diane Ward. There's Valerie, White Stripes. This might be your playlist from last night.
No, this is like the beginning of tonight. It didn't play any of those songs.
Oh. Well, we're gonna go through all the songs now.
We have you
Everybody.
here to sort it all out.
Oh god, you might be screwed. I take it this is one of your choices. Put the camera on an armature. Yeah. I was painting something, then I got distracted over here trying to rectify the Nightbot situation. Now the camera wants to spin.
Oh, I'm trying to move it.
There we go. You know, we have technical difficulties over here sometimes. Light technical difficulties. I'm going to drip paint on this armature. Here, can you scoot this back on your side of the table? Whatever that is. You called it an armature, I figured that's what it was. Way to mislead me, Excel 809. Way to feed me some bad information. I saw the craziest article. I'm not even going to talk about what the article said, but it was like so insane that I immediately checked Snopes, and of course it wasn't true. Or it was unproven at least. And like, it's crazy that like people like don't check Snopes before they just like slap things online, you know what I mean? Like you just see like information come up and you're just like, this is true. You know what I mean? You ever see something like that where you're like, that can't be true?
Yeah.
Snopes.
Like that thing I sent you earlier. I didn't check it, but was it getting arrested because the cops didn't do it.
I thought that was a joke.
Yeah.
It was a joke.
I don't know, but are we gonna go with it?
I thought it was somebody kidding. What's really sad is if like somebody sees that and they think it's a joke, but it's totally true and like nobody.
You can see it being true, like it being that one unfortunate situation where like it's like the perfect storm of.
So wait, did you not realize that I thought it was a joke until I was like, baby, like you thought it was serious until that?
I don't know if it's serious or not. It could be.
I don't think it is.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because nobody's actually named that.
Oh jeez.
But yeah. Like seriously, no one's actually named that in this day and age, baby. Can you take my brush?
Yeah. Oh, you started painting the marina.
Yeah. Started being the key word there.
What is it the smell?
Yeah. Did you put this on?
No, I don't know what this is.
Oh my god.
It's my jam though.
You might have to put your song request back in. I'm gonna clear the queue. Yeah, put your song request back in, everybody. Everybody. Alright. Alright, you put your song in. Let's get past whatever this is to that.
Marty.
Why does it keep wanting to play this song? I think this is finally it. Alright, there we go. Alright, just a little bit there in the front to do. I'm painting up the loincloth on my arco-flagellant here. I do find when painting busy miniatures like this that even if you're painting a larger area, if it's hidden like this, sometimes the detail brush is your best friend. Just getting in those little narrow places without the brush ricocheting around and hitting everything it's not supposed to. Little pro tip for y'all. It also helps if your hands don't shake when you're painting. Alright, there we go. Does he have any of that burn umber out still? Did he put it back by some chance? No, he did not. Here it is. See how my tea is steeping. I got this really good ginger tea by Yogi at the store. It's really good. Like, you don't even have to put any sugar or anything in it. Like, it's so good. I love ginger. Alright. Fixing those details there. I'm gonna Google for a second and see what color they did the face masks on the flagellants. I'm sorry, the arco-flagellants. Arco-flagellants. 40K. Let's see. Alright, so the kind of golden red. Okay. I can dig it.
There's an alien RPG.
Ooh. Can you be the alien? Of course he left before actually answering my question. Hang on. Is the song request thing frozen again? Oh, that's the channel. Okay, you know my links are set up funky. I went in and changed all the settings on those too. Do me a favor. Facebook. Facebook that shit to me, bro. He's trying to send me the link for it, but tell me more about this alien RPG game.
I just saw there was a hobby store I followed on Facebook that had a thing like more information on the alien RPG. That's all I saw.
You ever pour some paint for yourself and then you lose it on your palette?
What?
You ever pour some paint for yourself and then you like lose it on the palette?
Mm-hmm. Oh yes.
You're sitting there jabbing little bits of dried paint. Like, is this it? No. Is it? You could probably fix that by like cleaning off the palette, but like, yeah.
Where are the big fat brushes at? You know?
They're in the paint thing upstairs. The paint box or the paint brush. The oatmeal container with the paint brushes in it.
Anyone with big nasty brushes?
That I don't know. I take it the ones I'm referring to you know of, and they are not sufficient.
I think so.
They are insufficient. Okay, you send it on Facebook. Alright. Let's see. This one from Brian.
Give me that brick. I like brick.
Maybe. I'm waiting on that message to come through.
Look for myself.
Alright, there we go. That's the channel running the Alien RPG. Okay, I gotcha. Cool. Cool. Thank you. I don't think they're live right now, but if they are, we should raid them after this.
What are they called?
It's, Praetor's Rejects.
Praetors.
Yes.
I get it. Don't think they're live.
Okay.
Oh, wait. That says they're live. Yeah, they're live. They have one person watching.
We should raid them.
Absolutely. I kind of want to watch it.
I know, so do I.
They have a cool Roll20 setup that looks like the scanners. You know, it's like they have like it's like a map that looks like the scanners. Like,
I kind of want to stop now so we can go watch that.
like, oh, their stream is cooler than ours.
Do you want to stop streaming now so we can go watch that? I'm gonna leave that up to you.
I don't know. What do you think, Excel? You just want to rate them?
They are rerunning.
Oh, the rerunner? Oh, this is live now. Oh, rerun a video from Prater's Reject. Okay, I didn't see that.
Okay. Well then. We should check that out.
Yes. Did you GM Alien?
Dude, I probably shouldn't GM anything. I tried to, like, GM, be the leader in Blackstone Fortress, and, like, I'm terrible at it. It's, like, a whole lot of rules and a whole lot of book flipping. Book flipping.
It all comes from, like, familiarity with the rules. Like, you just gotta do it a few times.
I was gonna play another round today, but I wound up watching Project Runway all day. Champagne drink.
Okay, now I'm gonna pull the camera back over here because this is the part I've been waiting for.
It's epic.
This is it. So I've got the mid-tones, little ink on there. Hardly any ink is, or hardly any paint is on this brush right now. Oh yeah, look at that.
It's very nice, baby.
Oh yeah.
You sound like a pervert.
No, it all comes together with that highlight. Look at it. Oh yeah. All the work you've done. Sorry.
Like, look at my dry brushing, everybody.
Oh, I love it. This is my favorite part of the project. My second favorite part. My favorite part's when you prime a build and all the pieces that were all different colors and everything. It all starts to look like one project. It starts to look like something. Wasn't this in some, like, video game?
There's a robot unicorn attack.
I feel like you played a lot of that in your day, didn't you?
I did. You remember Robot Unicorn Attack?
Yeah.
It's loaded in Fantasy Grounds with a custom mod, not Roll20, and it appears to be a dice pool and single dice systems. He called you a paint pervert.
Paint pervert.
Like a painting fetish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He does. He is. He's like, it paints the lotion on the foam, or else what? I think it's turned into a garden gnome there. You wouldn't help me finish the rhyme, and now it's terrible. Look what you did. What you did.
What have you done?
You wrote a bad rhyme, Petey. I mangled that lotion line. Oh, I did so badly.
What did you say? I wasn't even paying attention.
No, I was trying to like do like it paints the lotion on the foam, or you wouldn't help me come up with anything. So
murder of quotations.
No, I said that you wouldn't help me come up with the rhyme, so you'll get turned into a garden gnome. You don't put the paint on the foam.
Some of the layers don't make sense anymore.
There's layers. It makes sense. It's like an onion.
It's like if they're ducking.
You're a tofu duckin. A topher duckin. There's one. No, there's one. It's literally tofu, duck, and turkey. That like that's your fucking.
So fucking.
Okay. Anyway, children, if you're watching this, go to bed. It's almost midnight.
Oh.
God, baby.
I passionate.
You're passionate painting over there. And break the camera. Oh God, it's like a bad porno. get too into it.
It's gonna start.
You're gonna knock your coffee over.
It's
And
gonna splatter
it's gonna go on both the computers and all the miniatures.
All right,
I'm
viewers,
gonna be
put your 3D
mad.
glasses on because yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna back into the damn glass case. Okay. Okay. Look at how everything is shaking.
Well, this is Big Bill's a miniature. We don't have the table yet. It'll be here like in 2 days.
They're just gonna drop a giant table package off on our porch out of curiosity.
No, actually, they're delivering it closed, and I gotta figure it out.
How big
It's been quite a journey.
How
This freaking folding
how
table.
big is this box?
The table is 4 feet by 4 feet.
It's not gonna fit in the Jeep.
It will not fit in the Jeep.
Gotta get your dad's truck.
Gotta get the
Is he gonna come over and help you move it in?
maybe. Or I can probably use the trailer at work or something. I don't know. We'll find out.
I'll have to clip him.
Okay.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
I'm not even painting anymore. Like you've taken over the table.
Not having. You don't.
Did you see how badly the table's shaking and you're passionately dry brushing? I'm also holding your coffee that you're dry brushing directly over with these big strokes.
No
Take
more
out your
tips.
coffee. Your what?
Need more tips on that. The rest of it later.
So is this the post paint? The post
Yeah.
quiz paint?
Now I'm just me and the minis are covered.
Oh, I'll pull it off.
Yeah. See, like that's why I'm so easily excitable when I put these highlights on, man. Look, because it all pops.
One day you finally agree to cuffs instead of the normal shape. He's gonna pull out acrylic paint bottles. Like, oh yeah, help me prime this board. So, about halfway through our relationship, when he first started doing this, like in a full-time capacity, he would make me help him draw like cobblestones on those freaking 4x4 boards. Like, and so I'd be sitting there for hours, tediously drawing little slightly different shaped circles.
It's the only way to do it right. You gotta
with
draw
a Bic
them on.
pen, the fucking Bic pen for hours. And we lived in an apartment at the time. The landlords would come over all the time, and there would be flock in the damn
You have to
carpet.
pretend like I'm not
Yeah.
making terrain on an industrial scale on this 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, like the kitchen would be like there would be terrain like sitting on the microwave and on the stove.
It would have
and on
been
the
easier to
fridge.
explain that I sell drugs. That would have been so much easier.
Especially with the flock, it's green. What do you think it looks like?
Yeah, like flock is it's sawdust dyed green, and you lay it out and you dry it, and so basically I would have an entire rack at any given time of like a green plant substance just drying.
And
And
so
it's
they're like,
just sawdust.
it's 28
and like
millimeter grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Passionate dry brush.
Getting the fingers in the mouth.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I can't say that.
You started this.
I was gonna say something completely inappropriate. But
Everything you say is inappropriate.
it is, isn't it? Green powder. Oh, that's right. I was putting in a song. What shall we listen to?
What's going on? What's going on?
These Monster Cat songs are killing me. So let's listen to this instead. I always forget how slow the real version of the song is.
I've been through. It's my jam though, really.
Are you trying to get that great big hill?
Oh, look at it pop. Oh, yeah. I always do it like in kind of an X pattern, top to bottom.
Pervert.
This is useful information here. This is hobby information, yeah.
Hobby information. Where
You gotta have hobbies.
what if the FBI is listening to you right now? Like, sir, we got him.
But it's just a hobby.
Oh my god. FYI, we have very, very dark senses of humor. I apologize, kind of.
Oh, way too much camera.
Oh god, you're violently dry
Sorry.
brushing again. What do you think you and I would do if we got partnered up on a partner project on Project 101?
I would let you lead on that.
Well, you're good enough of a designer to be on Project 101, so like...
In this imaginary scenario,
Yes.
maybe do alright.
We would bicker the entire time.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, these sculpts are so nice.
Yes, they're very nice.
I'm gonna dry brush them. Trash.
Listeners, you see what I put up with? Do they have music in 40K apart from like the Sisters of Battle like chanting?
Probably not. It's probably heretical. Probably like hymnals and stuff.
Do they save music from the
Unless
bright
the organ
animals?
music by that organ player on the thing.
Do they listen to music from the Age of Enlightenment technology? Like they have like CDs that they hide. They do homeworks. They're gonna take their Lump Biscuit CD.
Rolling.
Worth like untold amounts of money. Limp Biscuit. They should throw something like that in like Warhammer lore. Like somebody found like a freaking like Kanye,
Red Durst hat. It's like a relic.
a real big fish shirt.
I think we're the last like people in the universe that care about relic fish, unfortunately.
Probably. People like to tell me Ska is dead.
They tell me that too. And then I punch him in the face.
Oh lordy, I'm sleepy. What was that?
You read 40K, Kingdom Death Lord, etc.
I read 40K and Kingdom Death Lord, etc. Shit is gonna get darkened. Yeah.
We really have to check out this game.
You have to play Kingdom Death with me one day when I get $400 to just spend on it. You gonna play Kingdom Death?
I don't want to shit on your dreams. Like, look, I feel like Kingdom Death is that game that's like, if you're gonna get it and you build it up, and it's not gonna be. what you think it is. It's gonna be like Blackstone Fortress. Like you're gonna have to learn these like rules that
But
like
the models.
yeah. Well, you'll never get bored painting. That's for sure. Beautiful models. And honestly, just from model standpoint, it's probably worth it just for that without the rules. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I know of Trinity Blood, and I've never watched or read it.
What is that?
It's an anime / manga. I don't know, I struggle with it a lot. Take like Blackstone Fortress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like I want something that's like roleplay heavy. What I'm coming to find through like Blackstone Fortress, etc., is that doesn't really exist.
You gotta find the right group. That's the only way it exists.
So like I try to find games I like, and none of them have that element. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel out in the cold as a gamer a little bit.
You gotta find your tribe, so to speak.
Problem with Kingdom Death is that nobody, myself included, can afford to play it. I don't know. Is that your way of saying you would not play it with me?
No, I would absolutely play it. I'm saying there's going to be a rule learning part of it that you're not going to like. That's going to be just as dense, if not more so than what do you call it? Blackstone Fortress.
Worst case scenario, I'll get it, try the rules, and not like it, and just paint the models.
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying, like just the models alone work a while. But I wouldn't like hold off on gaming fun until you get.
I'm not.
You know what I mean? Like play what you want to play in the meantime.
That's the thing. I'm trying to find other things that I want to play. Like I'm having difficulty coming across them because I want something with like this roleplay element that doesn't seem to exist in wargaming.
And a setting that you like too. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would like Necromunda.
Yeah. Even Malifaux just seems like very like just skirmish. Like, skirmish. You know?
Yeah.
Why don't they ever go settle towns or anything? Is that not something you can do?
What do you mean?
Well, I guess they wouldn't settle towns. All the 5 colonies already exist. They're just fighting over land.
No, they're still in 40K. You mean?
I'm talking about Necromunda.
Oh, there's like ash settlements and stuff, and ash waste settlements.
Did they ever do anything like other than skirmish though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's politics involved.
Disregard the question. Like asking if there's healthcare in the Imperium. Of course not.
Grim dark.
I cannot paint while you paint that. Yes, it looks very nice.
I'm trying to keep it off this.
Alright, the time has come. It is 12:06. Are we still going, or would you like to go ahead and raid?
I think we should go ahead and raid.
Let's see who's
Get
live.
to A.
Yes.
Twitch.
Here we go. Steep T's live again. Alright. Everybody?
He was trying to talk to you yesterday.
Alright, not song request. Alright. Everybody. If I can get this to work. That's an equal sign. There we go. Oh my god! Slash raid. If indeed. If indeed. It's very questionable. There we go. I got the underscore button, guys. Oh my god. Deep T. There we go. It is so hard to type. Oh my god. Alright. Everybody, thank you for tuning in and hanging out and whatnot. I will see you later. Have a good week. Stay safe.
See you guys. I'll be on this week. And definitely Friday. Taylor and I am. So
Yep.
have a good week. Happy hobby.
Yes. Peace out. Bye.
What's up?
The bill got stuck in an ad.